The laughter still echoes in my head. Sharp, mocking, cruel. It wasn't just a wedding reception. It was my father's perfect little theater, and I was his opening act for humiliation. Glasses clinked, cameras flashed, and as the guests asked about me, he smirked. "Oh, she's just a security guard. Keeps drunks out of bars. Nothing special." The room erupted in polite chuckles, but to me, each one felt like a slap. He knew the truth, what I'd given up, what I'd endured, but in that moment, I wasn't his daughter. I was his punchline. I left the reception early, my heels clacking against the marble floor, each step heavier than the last. Outside, the cold air bit into my skin, but it was nothing compared to the sting inside. My father had always been critical. Nothing I did ever measured up to his standards. But this was public execution. I had been a police officer once. A good one. Until a botched drug raid left me with a bullet lodged dangerously close to my spine. No more chasing suspects. No more adrenaline-fueled nights. After months of rehab, the only job I could land was as a security guard at a high-rise downtown. It paid the bills, but to my father, it was proof I had fallen. And so I carried it. The humiliation, the shame, the gnawing desire to show him that I wasn't just anything. That desire festered into something sharper, darker. Revenge. Not the petty kind. Not a screaming match or cutting him out of my life. No, I wanted the kind of revenge that made a statement. The kind that would silence every smirk, every whisper. When my chance came, it didn't look like revenge at first. It was a quiet Tuesday night at work when the elevator doors opened and chaos spilled out. A bleeding man, a shaking woman, a gun still warm in the hand of his attacker. I acted without thinking, disarmed the shooter, and began CPR. By the time the police arrived, both the suspect and the victim were in cuffs or stable. The footage went viral overnight. Security guard saves lives in armed attack. News anchors praised my bravery. My old police contacts called me a hero. The mayor himself asked to meet me. And all I could think was, this will look beautiful against the backdrop of my father's smug little wedding speech. 2 weeks later, the banquet hall was lit up again. This time, not for a wedding, but for a charity gala my father was hosting. I knew the guest list: business partners, politicians, people who lived in the same rarefied air as him. I also knew the news segment featuring me was scheduled to air on the giant projector before dinner. I walked in wearing the same uniform he'd mocked, black slacks, navy jacket with security stitched across the chest, but my posture was different now. Heads turned. Whispers started. My father's smile froze the moment he saw me. When the clip began, the room fell silent. My voice came through the speakers as I recounted the events of that night, the grainy security footage showing me wrestling the gun away from the shooter. Applause erupted when the anchor called me a true hero. I didn't clap. I just locked eyes with my father. For the first time in my life, he looked small, but the victory was hollow. Later, as I stood outside, a colleague from my police days found me. "You proved your point," he said quietly. But was it worth carrying that weight all this time? That question stuck with me, because the truth was, my revenge hadn't erased the years of belittlement. It hadn't healed the wound. It had just left another scar. Months passed. My father never apologized, but he stopped making jokes at my expense. The distance between us remained, but so did my understanding. Proving someone wrong isn't the same as finding peace. I didn't forgive him, and I didn't reconcile. But I stopped needing his validation. I stopped letting his voice dictate my worth. Revenge had given me a moment of triumph, but walking away from the need for it gave me freedom. Moral of the story: revenge may silence your critics, but only self-worth can silence the echo of their words.